Welcome to the Mandate Outreach International, and this is the Future Canada Project Skills Development Initiative, an expression, an initiative of the Mandate Outreach International. And this is our spring cohort, and of course, the very, very last section, the fourth one. We started this series, this spring cohort, with a section on mastering the fundamentals of cybersecurity. And we had our dear friend on that section, Oluwaseun Omodele. We had a very, very beautiful time. And then we had Samuel Lawa, that he took us on the mastering the fundamentals of AI, artificial intelligence, and we had a very good section on that as well. And the recorded version, you can access them on our YouTube channel or any of our platforms. And just a week ago, on our third section, we had our very own Damilola Ajibade. She took us on a dimension on workplace ethics, workplace skills. We had a great time. You can find most of these the recorded sections on our YouTube channels, especially, and also on our platforms, on Instagram or Facebook. And today, of course, these are our last section, the very fourth one on the spring cohorts. And after this section today, we will be introducing you to some of programs that we have ahead in the summer. And today, we have our very dear friend, Omoleye Sanusi, and a very a lead strategic HR professional, and I'm sure she'll be talking more about adjourning as an expert on this field, and she'll be taking us through personal branding. This is key. I remember growing up at that age, 17, 18, at Red Africa. Then, you know, I wanted to find out, am I actually presenting myself well? Am I dressing well? In fact, there are some clubs that actually joined at that early stage. I think one of them was JC High, to see that I'm combining my colors, I'm attending this meeting appropriately. And this is many more on ensuring that we have a resume in place that fits to that particular JD and many other things that we'll be looking at today. It's going to be a wonderful section. I know Omoleye Sanusi a bit, and I know that she's going to talk to us. So in a very, very few minutes, I'm going to be handing over to her. But before then, I just want to let us know that at the Mandate Outreach International, our mission is to create lasting change. That is by empowering communities and equipping young people with the tools they need to thrive. We have about 4 innovations that we have developed that covers our entire community development project. And we have the LPM project. And after this meeting, we'll be making some announcements regarding our project, community events for the LPM project. Of course, the Future Canada project, this is why we're here. And we have the Homeless to Home Project 1000, with our long-term goal to have acquired at least 1,000 units of homes, affordable home for the homeless community. And this is our mandate. This is what we are, and this is what we have been sent to do. And on our 4th innovations, we have the Threads of Hope, the clothing bank projects. And this has been ongoing, and in a couple of days before the end of the spring, we're going to be having a major clothing bank event at downtown Moncton, and many of our programs. I want you to take some time out and check out website at www.themandateoutreach.com, and you can find out more about our activities at the Mandate Outreach International and also the Future Canada project. I'm sure we're going to have a wonderful time. And at the end of this section, you will have me back to share a few news and an announcement and coming events at the International. Please permit me to hand over now to welcome to the Future Canada Project Skills Development Initiative, the fourth and the grand finale edition. Taking us is Omoleye Sanusi, and she'll be talking to us on personal branding. Thank you. So I will hand over to her, and she will take over control of the section. Thank you.
Thank you, Tayo. I'll be sharing my screen now. Can you hear me? Let me know when you can see my screen.
We can see your screen and we can hear you.
We can see your screen now.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Tayo. And for all our viewers online and the ones on YouTube, thank you and welcome. If you are watching on YouTube, just chat us and let's know where you are watching from. And once again, thank you everyone for joining this session today. Like Tayo said, we will be looking at personal branding in our last session for the Future of Canada Skills Development Initiative. My name is Omoleye Sanusi, and this is just, a brief profile about myself. I am a HR professional with over 20 years of being in the professional world, out of which I've spent like 10 years in HR. I've worked in the banking, insurance, and telecommunications sector, all back home. When I say home, I mean Nigeria. I have a bachelor's degree in Nigeria, from a university in Nigeria. I have my first master's in human resources from the United Kingdom, and I'm currently here in Canada, completing a second master's in Crandall University, and I'm studying Masters of Management. In addition to my, educational degree, I also have different professional certification which I belong to. First is the Chartered Institute of Personnel Development, that is in UK. I'm also a member of the Global Professional Human Resources. I also have, a certificate in SHRM, that's the United States of American version for human resources, and I'm a designated member of the CPHR, that's for Canada, the New Brunswick version. Basically, I'm committed to long life learning. I'm committed to personal growth, and I believe that in a world of that this world is dynamic and changes are occurring every time. And for me to be able, not even me, for anyone to be able to catch up with the frequent changes in the global landscape, and for anyone to be relevant, you have to make upskilling, a very important part of your life, right? Throughout my career, I've led people in the culture, strategies, organizational development, EDI, and I've worked in complex, dynamic global environment. I'm passionate about engagement, inclusion, and like I mentioned, some few seconds ago, I'm very passionate about personal growth. I'm a strategic visionary. Basically, in my role as HR, what the main job we do, in HR, as top as management in HR, we ensure that, we align the HR functions to the general and the overall strategic goal of the organization. I bring global insight into my work, and I'm human-centric leadership, and that's what I've been doing in the organizations that I serve. But I will go to the table of content for today's session. Basically, we are discussing personal branding, and we'll start by defining what personal branding is all about. And we just move down to, job search and resume building with ATS optimization, knowing fully well that in the global world, ATS optimization is very critical. Then we go to a few interview questions, and as time permits us, we also, look at a bit of, LinkedIn optimization. So I go now. What is personal branding? It's a personal branding. It's a language that, it's so common in use, but just going down into it, what does personal branding actually means? It's a practice. And you see, when I say it's a practice, it's something that you have to be intentional about it. You have to determine that you want to have a personal brand, and it's a practice of intentionally defining and promoting your unique combination of skills. Everyone has a unique skills. Everyone is created differently. Everyone has something that they have to market, they have to sell. And it's a combination of different experiences, our values that really differentiate us from others. It shapes how we are perceived by others, whether in the industry, whether in the community, whether in our personal space. We have to be intentional about our brand. It speaks to who we are. It speaks to what we are capable of doing. So, for example, if you say that, just a few example of what people should know you for. If you give an appointment, if you say you will get there for 2, please ensure you get there at the set time. Best practice says if you say you're coming somewhere for 2, at least give 15 minutes extra. I used to work in an organization, and we have a slogan, and we say on time is late. If you are meant to resume at 8 and you resume at 8, you are already late. And the interesting thing I've learned, in my experience, is that when you arrive earlier anywhere in your organization to a meeting, there is always a meeting before the meeting. And that is quite important, to participate in that meeting before the meeting. Once you have a strong personal brand, then it makes your promotion quick. It makes everything you are doing quickly, and you can achieve whatever you stand to achieve. Building your personal brand. What are the steps in building your personal brand? The first step I have here is that you must shape your message. Before you speak, you must clearly define what you stand for. For example, let's say you are going for a conference, let's say you are going for an interview, you must be able to frame your expertise. You have a story to tell. You must be able to say it in a way that resonates to your audience and aligns with the reputation you want to build. It's very important. And like I mentioned earlier on, you have to practice it. What is the second step to building your personal brand? You have to speak with purpose. You have to understand, use a language that reflects your brand identity, and you also have to speak a language of your audience. When I first arrived in Canada, the first thing I learned is that there is a language that is spoken in Canada. Yes, English language is a universal language, but there is a language that is spoken in Canada, and wherever you are, you have to ensure that you learn the language of your industry, learn the language of your audience, learn the language of your country. And you also have to ensure that you communicate with the key themes. What is the theme of the message? What is the theme of the meeting? What is the theme of the interview you are going for? You have to ensure that, while communicating, you have to network on social media. You also have to ensure that you know how to speak, even formally and informally, to reinforce your credibility. What is the third step in building your personal brand? You have to live the brand. You have to align your actions to your word. Authenticity builds trust. You have to be able to demonstrate integrity and consistency in how you interact, in how you lead, and in how you make decisions. There's a saying that our inward appearance, it speaks more. You have to live what you're saying. You can't say this and then your appearance shows the other way. And we have to be intentional about it. The fourth step in building your personal brand is that you have to deliver a consistent value. Commit to excellence. Don't do it well this time and the next time you are freestyling. and you have to practice. If you are given a job, if you are going for an interview, whatever you are going for, make sure that you are consistent. If you have a project, collaborate, make sure that among your team, you are known for something. You have to impress your personal brand, and it has to be a brand of quality. Finally, what are the steps to building your personal brand? You have to evolve your message. You have to refine your message. In a world of global changes, in a world of global competition, in a world where changes is like the norm of the day, you cannot be static. I remember about 16 years ago, 17 years ago, when I first had my first master's in the UK, it was like the talk of the town. I mean, everything was very relevant. But think of 17 years ago and now, everything I learned there has been outdated. And because of the pace at which the world is changing, and for you to maintain your personal brand, you have to keep up to that pace. You have to learn how to seek feedback. You have to learn how to adjust your narrative, your stories to be relevant. Oh, the last one here, I beg your pardon. You have to promote your brand strategically. Share your achievements and share insights intentionally. Use networking, social media. There's a research that has been done in Canada. I mean, I heard it mostly in Canada, maybe everywhere in the world too, that 80% of the work you are looking for is found through networking. It's good to go to social media. It's good to search, but then you have to ensure you have a strong brand and strong networking to be able to promote your brand strategically. You have to explore all the opportunities that comes your way. And for you to be able to do all these things successfully, you have to practice and prepare. Okay, I would like to say something again on this, your brand, in the professional landscape, in the world of work, you are only given like between 10 and 15 seconds to make a first right impression. And if you don't practice and if you don't know your brand, you might not be able to utilize that small time you have given effectively. So I say again, and that's why I'm reinforcing the word practice. Okay, in line with the table of contents, we go to, job search and resume building. In Canada, I've just tried to highlight here the places that we can get a job. Basically, I want to believe that, majority of us on this platform are immigrants, and it's still relevant for even citizens too. But then I'm saying this because just for an easy way to know where to access the job we are looking for easily. If you are looking for government job, you go to the Canada Job Bank, and the URL is here, jobbank.gc.ca, Job Bank. Then if you are looking for government job that is specific to your province, I have used New Brunswick here because that is where I stay. If you're in Ontario, if you are in, anywhere, you just change the NB. Maybe if you're in Ontario now, you can change it to ON. You can just navigate or just type Ontario government jobs on your browser, and it will bring out the jobs you are looking for. If you want to work in a government, in the government environment. If you want to, you can also use the professional networking to search for job. Commonly, the most common one we use now is the LinkedIn. And we'll be talking about LinkedIn optimization towards the end of this presentation. It's very important to represent yourself well on LinkedIn. You can also use Glassdoor Canada to search for professional networking. If you are looking for industry specific job, just like HR, for example, you go to CPHR Canada Career Center, is cphr.ca. That's The jobs, yes, will be the job on those sites will be relevant to your career. And you can, if you are in tech, you can use Tech Careers Canada to search for your, job. The other general job boards that, majority of us are used to are the Indeed, the Monster, the Workopolis, and Career Builder, and the rest, and the Simply Hired. If you go to this one, you get all sorts of jobs, all sorts of general jobs here. And a lot of people have testified to getting this job to getting their jobs from this platform. So it works. Okay, I go to, the next slide here is when you are building a resume, what should you look out for? Because after you search for the job, after you know where to get for the job, you must be able to position yourself. It is said that the resume is the first virtual meeting that your employer or your prospective employer will have with you. Your resume should be detailed enough for the employer to know who you are, because that's the first virtual meeting you are having with them. And what should the resume header? The resume is divided into different sections. We will see the section as we go along. The first section is the resume header, I beg your pardon. What should it contain? It has to contain your full name, no abbreviation. Your full name should be clearly displayed on your resume header, your first name and your last name specifically. Then your address, your email address. You need to use a professional email and an appropriate email address when searching for job. You can use any other email address for, if you want to have an informal chat, but once you are looking for job, you have to make your email professional. And what does it mean to have a professional email? Is not, you can have it as your first name and your last name, and it's something that somebody can easily look and relate with you. For example, my first name is Omoleye and my last name is Sanusi, and my email address is my first name combined with my last name. That's professional. Your phone number has to be a Canadian number, because if employer wants to contact you, they will want to contact you on a local number. Please do not put your foreign phone number on your resume. Your address. Different school of thought have tried to describe how addresses can be written on your resume. It is not a one size fits all. Some school of thought believe that if you just write Canada, simply write Canada, it is sufficient. And why are they campaigning for that? Just in case you are in New Brunswick and you want to get a job in Ontario. If you use an address in New Brunswick, it can easily, discourage employers. So they have said keep it short, right? And the other school of thought believe that you can put your address and your city, never put your postal code in your resume. So it depends on where you are, and it depends on where you are searching for the job. Any address you choose, any style you choose to go with is fine. Then your LinkedIn profile, it has to be polished, it has to be up to date. When we go into the LinkedIn, we will see some things that we have to ensure is done in our LinkedIn. Because once you give your LinkedIn profile, employers will go and search for you on your LinkedIn. And whatever it is on your LinkedIn must correlate at least to a large percentage on what you have on your resume. So you have to be prepared even on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so I go to the next item on your resume. You have your work summary on your resume. Please ensure that your work summary is brief. Ideally, it should be around 3 to 5 sentences. Just summarize who you are, what you have done, your skill, and what you intend to bring to the organization. Customize your wordings to reflect your job description. We know, different job descriptions are different from every role. Every role has different job descriptions. And whenever you don't use your resume as a one size fits all. You have to adapt. You have to make sure that your resume is written according to the job description, and it starts from your work summary. Make sure you highlight current and past role, your achievement and skill in a brief way. Use keyword from job postings to ensure you enhance alignment. I understand that when hiring managers pick up the resume, the first thing they look at is your work summary. If it's not in alignment with the job description, then that prospective candidate is not fit for the role. Please always be honest. Do not whitewash your resume. Do not whitewash your job summary. Represent your experience in such a way that you can defend it. At the end of the day, if you whitewash and you get the job, research has shown that you can actually be dismissed along the line if you whitewash your resume, and dismissal will be without severance pay. Okay, the next item on your resume is your education. Place the education after your work summary in that order. List all post-secondary education, beginning with the most recent and working backward. Do not include high school information for professional job. This is actually contextual. If you are looking for a low role job, you can, but if you are looking for a job that is professional, your high school information is not necessary. So for example, I have used my education as an example here. My first degree is in economics from Nigeria University of Ado-Ekiti, and I've put it here. And because my degree has been assessed by West to be an equivalent of Canadian degree, I beg your pardon, this is not meant to be master's, it's meant to be Canadian first degree. It has been assessed by West. That's the English I'm looking for. Then my master's from the UK has also been assessed by West to be an equivalent of Canadian master's degree. And currently I am doing Masters of Management in Kwandal. That does not need West assessment. So once you align your education on your resume like this, then it fits for purpose. The next line of item on your resume is your skill overview. Before you put in the skills on your resume, analyze the job description and decide, be able to identify the core skills that the employer is looking for. Align your skill with the role demand to ensure a balance of technical and expertise and interpersonal strength. For example, if I see a job as HR manager, for example, or maybe like L&D manager, I have to be sure that I craft out the technical expertise that is required for the role. So maybe for my role, for example, depending on the role, I have things like my skill is engagement, I have skills in payrolling, I have skill in performance management, I have skill in, learning and development, I have skills in diversity, but all the skills I have might not be able to fit into the particular job I'm applying for. So ensure an alignment. And what are examples of your interpersonal strength or interpersonal skills? Maybe like communication, conflict resolution, things like that. Then they have to align, I'm saying it again, with the job description. Focus on honesty and strategy. Present skills that are both true and tailored to your position. I will say again, on this section also, do not put in what you don't have. Do not whitewash. Put at least 6 to 8 critical skills to keep your resume impactful and sharp. And be ready to support each skills you have listed with example, because you will be tested on those skills. Okay. The next line item is your professional experience. List your work history in a reverse and a chronological order. You have to start with the most recent position. Each role should include your job title, the location, the dates, and the employer's name. Okay, some school of thought believe that you can also put the URL of the company on your resume. So when they want to check, because employers will usually go and confirm, so it's easy for them to check and confirm. Under each job, add 2 to 5 bullet points focusing on key achievements. Depending on the role you're applying for, if it's a very senior role, I will suggest you add about maybe like 8 to 10. If it's a middle management role, maybe like 5. Then if it's an entry-level role, maybe like about 2 to 5. For middle management, maybe like 5 to 8. Okay. When you are crafting your resume, there's something called the APE. And I'm going to just describe it briefly. APE means what are the actions you took? How did you implement it? And what are the results? Say, for example, I am in HR. I can say that maybe I'm in recruitment or employee engagement. I can say that the action I took is that, okay, I recruited 25 people, for example, to fill the gap. How did I implement it? Okay, I can say I use referrals or I use my networking to recruit these people. And what are the effects? I have to be able to say I brought these people to the organization, and this is how they have impacted the organization, whether by bottom line, whether by anything you're assessing. So for each line item of your resume, you must be able to say, what did I do? How did I do it? And what is the impact in alignment with your job description? Okay. Then we are assuming that everything on your resume is complete now. If you have, a volunteer role that you have done, put it at the bottom of your resume. If you have other skills that are different from the behavior and the technical skills, like your Microsoft Word, put it at the bottom of your resume. If you have what's it called now? Like you have, so like I have, I'm struggling with the word now. If you have like an accomplishment, thank you. If you have accomplished anything, put it at the bottom of your resume. Just remember I said your first virtual meeting with the employer is from your resume. So you're advertising yourself and you have to be very direct and you have to be very intentional about it. Okay, for employers, some simple question which has been proven to be consistent is, I have about 6. It's more than this, but I just brought about 6 out here. Tell us why you have decided to apply for this job. Before you can do that successfully, you must have studied the job description. You must have aligned the job description with your resume. You must have even gone, please always go to the company's website to know what they do, to know who they are. It helps you in answering the questions during the interview. Why have you applied for this job? You must be able to bring your experience there. I'm applying for this job because I have the experience, because I know that I will be able to help the organization to move to the next level based on XYZ experience that I've acquired over the time. They will ask you, what are the 3 strengths you bring to this job? Remember that you have written your strength on the skill side of your resume. Make sure there's an alignment with your resume and with the job description. What is one weakness you need to work on to help you help you be a better employee? I have to confess to you here, please do not bring out weaknesses that are relevant to the organization, to the job description. So for example, let's say that you're applying for the role of HR manager or even an administrator. You cannot say that you have problem with interpersonal relationship. That is a no for the role. You have to be strategic in bringing out. You cannot say I'm somebody that comes late to work. You have to carefully craft your response. What is your weakness? Maybe, you can say that, okay, I had issues understanding an Excel in the past, but then I have been able to upskill myself to make up for the gap. For every weakness you mention, make sure that you are able to defend it, to say, this is where I was, this is what I've done to fill the gap, and this is where I am right now. And your occupational goals, this is your plan for the future. They want to know if your occupational goals align with the goals of the organization. And that is why you have to understand the mission, the vision statement, so that there's an alignment. What steps will you follow to deal with an unhappy client? It depends on the role that you are applying for. So maybe this is like a customer facing role. What steps will you take? You need to, first of all, understand. I mean, this one, you have to do the research from your job description, right? If a customer is unhappy, what are the steps you will do? You have to, first of all, pacify the customer, first of all, right? Then what motivates you? This one are your intrinsic values you have to bring out that still aligns with the job you are applying for. Okay. And once you go for the interview and they ask you, do you have a question for us? Please always ask a question. Like, I would like to know about the team I am going to be working with. Employers like it when you ask questions because it shows your relevance to the job you are applying for. Please do not ask questions that are outside your job description, please. Is your company in support of having a healthy work-life balance for employees? These are simple, non-technical questions. And based on your job description, if you think you have a technical question you want to ask that is in alignment with the JD, please go ahead and ask. What will job performance assessment be here? How will I be assessed on my job? Some people have a structured performance. Some people do not have a structured performance. Once you are able to answer this question, and remember, when you are looking for a job, you are not at the mercy of the employer. It's a win-win situation. You must be able to find a fit in that organization. These are questions you need to ask to understand whether the organization is a toxic environment or not. What should I know about this workplace environment? You need to know the culture. You need to know the interpersonal relationship. Are they learning organizations? Is this where I can fit in? Because honestly, there is no point getting a job now and leaving tomorrow. It's not good on your CV. So you have to do your assignment to be able to say, yes, this is a company I can work with. This company's vision aligns with my personal vision. Who is my supervisor? How often will I report to them? Some people have a formal reporting structure of like a monthly conversation. Some people leave it till the end of the quarter. Those things will help you to know how to position yourself and be able to achieve your objective. Remember that your intention is to align your own work style, your own job with the organization without compromise. Does your company allow for flexible hours and ability to work from home occasionally? These are good questions to ask. Good enough. Most companies in Canada are doing this. But you also want to know, you don't want to work on assumption. I go to the next slide. Other job interview questions that your employers can ask you. They will ask you experience. This one, you are going to go into like a deep, like slightly deep conversation. Can you tell me about yourself? You need to have like an introduction of yourself, right? They will say, walk me through your resume and why should I hire you? Why are you a good candidate for this job? It's just like you shrinking your resume and telling the employer in 1 second. So you can start by, my name is Omoleye Sanusi. I'm currently doing my master's in Crandall University. I have a master's in Human Resources from the University of Hertfordshire. I'm a member of CIPD, SHRM. I have a GPHR, and I'm a member of CPHR in Canada. My strength is on employee engagement, and I've been known to drive the performance of the organization from employee engagement based on, so you should be able to like say something that is relevant in 1 minute. Why are you interested in this job? Again, it has to do with an alignment. You must be able to convince the employer why this job is for you. I'm interested in this job because it aligns with my skill. I'm interested in this job because it contains what I love to do. If we, what would you do first if we hire you soon? You must be able to find out. And beyond the resume, what I do is that I check the company and I find out what gap. So even while reading the resume, while combining with the company profile, you will find a gap. If they say that they are looking for, head of human resources, for example, you'll be able to like articulate the job, the job descriptions, and like what will you do first. If they are saying your role will be to hire, if they are saying your role will be for performance management, for payroll, those are the things you are talking to. And how soon can you make an impact here? What are your goals? What do you want from this job? What should motivate you? You are supposed to have analyzed. Once you have done a thorough analysis of your resume, then this one will become easy for you to flow with. How soon could you make an impact here? I mean, if you are good at what you do and you have experience, your impact should be felt almost immediately. What are your own goals? Ensure you align with the goals of the organization. What do you want to do? What do you want to get from this job? You must be able to leave an impact for the company. The company, it must be a mutually beneficial relationship. They will ask you, what is your leadership style? And these are simple questions. There are different kinds of leadership styles. You have a transformational leadership style. You have a servant. I will call the constructive leadership styles. You have the servant leaders style. So a transformational leader, you are changing. You are quick to change with the changes in the environment. And if you're a servant leader, you care about the development of the team. You are still the leader, but you are not dropping your team members behind. You can say your leadership style is also a participative one. What does that mean? I carry everyone around. I move everyone along, so that nobody is. We don't work in silo, because we know that together we can achieve. Tell me a decision you have made and you have regretted. You have to be careful while you are saying this, so that you don't go and say a decision that is going to negatively impact the job that you are going for, right? What decision have you made that you regretted? Maybe I changed my job. Maybe, it's just try and fine tune it to like something that is relevant. Okay, so for example, what decision have I made that I regretted in my role? I don't know. I don't know. So maybe I can say that. Okay. So whilst working, and you must be quick in all of these things. Whilst working and this is true, you must, that's why the things that you have done must be very fast to come out in your head. Whilst working as a sales officer back home, because I did sales, I did operations before I finally got into HR, and the kind of sales we do back home, right? Is a bit different. You go to companies, you market yourself. So there was this person that I saw on the road, and then we just stop people and we can have a conversation with them. And I saw this guy on the road, and I had a strong feeling to just go and market him. I saw his ID card. I think he was working in Halliburton then, and back home we are friendly. We can approach people, right? So I didn't say we're not friendly here. I'm just saying that, because culture differs. That's why I'm stressing it. So I didn't go to meet the guy. I'm like, let him just be. I was tired for the day. And I got to the office, and guess what? The next person I saw in my office was this guy, and he was coming to open an account, and he went straight to my colleague, and he didn't come to my team. So what did I lose? What did I lose here? I was not proactive, because when employer is speaking with you, you're supposed to like, okay, am I proactive? Is it looking for leadership? Is it looking for my analytical skill? You must be able to blend the question quickly into what you want to say. Okay. Can you give an example of when you developed a creative solution to a problem? Oh yes, I have a lot of that in my role. I was responsible for moving appraisal system from a traditional way into the HRIS. So you must be able to think on your feet. Again, your greatest weakness, make sure that you do not relate it directly to your work, right? Okay. Case questions, if a client was being difficult, how would you know it? You have to make a research on these ones. For example, a client, I believe that, nobody comes being difficult except there's a trigger. And I give you an instance now. This one is not even a client. I had a colleague I was working with when I was working in, a multinational back home. He is white and black, and we had differences in our culture, and we're always, I want to say this, we didn't agree for a long time, but I just knew that. So I decided to study him. Anyway, that's my role. I'm the HR manager. Then the first thing, whilst I was trying to make a research that, why is he always behaving like this? Why is he always fighting? Then I realized that he has issues with his marriage. Okay, so once I had that information, I changed the way I was relating with him, and it worked. If you're a salesperson, you must be able to have a persuasive word. How do you persuade me to change my mind? You must be able to tell me the advantage of this pen. You must be able to tell me why, if I get this pen, it's a good for me. What is this pen? What does this pen have that other pen do not have? And things like that. Okay, that's so fast. Okay, I thought I still have, this is quite good. I was going to share my LinkedIn profile for us to quickly go into LinkedIn optimization. We are doing very well with time. Okay, and that will be the last one we are having here. So now, like I said, your resume is the first virtual connection you are having with the employer. So is your LinkedIn. An employer will go and check you on your LinkedIn page. The first thing you have to ensure you do on your LinkedIn, please put a recent picture. Please make the picture professional. Please make the picture relative to what you do. If you are in advertisements or in any other role, you can dress to reflect that. Behind your picture, which is the background page, you also have to say what you stand for. For example, I am very high on engagement. I am a business partner. My role is I am friends to everyone in the organization. And you can see it mere looking at my LinkedIn profile. You can imagine what I do. I am high on diversity. So the picture you put there must be relevant to what you do and who you are. Then you come to your about. You come to who you are. Your name should be spelled boldly. Sorry, your name should be spelled in full. Please, I do, especially if you are looking for a job, if you are on the side of an applicant, please do not put an abbreviation. Then you must be able to tell us, who are you? So for example, MHRM, I have my master's in MHRM. I have my designate position in CPHR. I have SHRM, I have GPHR. I intentionally did not put my CIPD there because I just felt, okay, maybe I don't want it to be, I don't know. I just decided to, I don't want the profile to be too busy, but I do have my CIPD. That's the personal development in UK. And who am I? I'm a lead strategic HR. Just be concise about who you are. Like I said, I'm high on employee engagement. I'm a business partner and I'm talent management. I've just used some short buzzwords for this one because, as HR, this one goes into detail. So when you're looking for a business partner and you come to my profile, you know that, okay, I'm fit for purpose. If you are looking for a talent manager, I'm fit for purpose. If you are looking for, and all these ones also combined to make me, a HR manager is combined also. Then if you go, the next place you also have to ensure that, you optimize is your about. Who are you? You know, you must be able to say, because employer, this is like the summary page of your resume, just that the LinkedIn is higher, it's longer, I beg your pardon, and it's in details. And you see some other people's LinkedIn, it goes beyond this, is well detailed. This is where, just make sure it's relevant, and the story, the story is connecting, and the story is interesting to read. I'm a strategic human resource leader with over a decade experience. So if you are looking for my experience, you see it here. What have I done? I've transformed, I've driven performance. I'm also high on culture. Where have I worked? I've worked in the global spaces, right? I've worked in multinational, I've worked in high growth environment, I've worked in financial, I've worked in insurance, I've worked in technology, I've also worked in startups. You know, I've put this thing just on a paragraph to be able to say, who I am. So what is my focus, right? Okay, yes, I've done all these ones. What is my focus? My focus as HR manager is that, I've said it, the main objective of the HR department is that you must be able to align the HR practices to the goal of the organization. I'm explaining my job here in a very concise manner. What have I done? I've led end-to-end talent management initiatives. I'm not going to, and what does talent management initiative encompasses, you know, maybe for non-HR professionals, before you see what we see on the outside is that we see HR recruiting, we see HR advertising for roles, but the complexity is more than that. Before you can even say you want to recruit, there's something we do that is called gap analysis. You have to know that, you have to be able to find the supply and the demand of talent and find out, based on the future of the organization, what are our gaps. And those are the things that I've called workforce planning, and it goes in stages. When we do that, we now begin to say, okay, what is the budget? How many people do we want? I've done all of those, and I've just captured it in the word. Performance framework. I've done performance management. What does performance management entails? You have to do your job analysis. You have to do your job specification. You have to do your job description. Before then, you have to align with the KPI. You have to align it with the goals. You have to do a competency framework. And that's why I also said, please do not whitewash. You have to know what all these components entails. Right? What does leadership development and what is leadership development, right? As HR manager, I've developed leaders. I've gone to look for, you should be able to also think on your feet, because they will bring this one and ask you questions. I've developed leaders in so many ways. I've done, what is it called now, in when you exchange program, right? I have sent people on Wharton Business School for developmental for programs. But how did we still do that? There's something in leadership professional, or there's something in leadership development that we call the ADDIE model, right? Analysis, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. All those things I know. And employee engagement, what does it mean? A lot of people think employee engagement is TGIF. No, HR goes beyond that. Who are your employees? How do you engage them? How do you ensure that their skill is relevant to the future of the organization? I've said a lot here, but I've just captured it in one paragraph. Also, who am I? Yes, I think I belong to the CPHR member of New Brunswick. Depending on the role you want to apply for, not everybody in HR will have your CPHR, but then if you want to play high on your career, these are the things you have to plug in. And I've shared all those my experience. And let's connect. Finally, if you are happy with all these things you have seen about me, let's connect about shaping the future of work. And because that is what I want, that is what I'm interested in doing. Okay. Basically, once you have your about here, then you'll see me. I wasn't really optimizing my LinkedIn before, because I was shy. It's just like, if I post anything on LinkedIn, then everybody will in Canada, this old mindset, everybody will see what I'm doing. But guess what? We're in a global world. If you don't advertise yourself, nobody will advertise it for you. So when I got my SHRM, I threw it on LinkedIn. When I attended the Bridge conference in school, I threw it on LinkedIn. And I'm still optimizing my LinkedIn, by the way, so you won't see me doing a lot of things. But I attended I think presentation in school. Oh my God. I attended Iving presentation in school, and I also put that to, one second please. I also put that to on my LinkedIn. So these are all the things that we need to be sure that we have on our LinkedIn profile. Okay. And another thing I would like to mention here is if you are searching for a job, please put open to work, but you have to be careful. If you are in an organization, I will appeal to you, be careful, because your line manager can come and check it out and say, how come you have to work and then you have a job? It could send a wrong signal that you're already looking for a job while you have one. I just opened myself up to work about 2 weeks ago, and I've seen a lot of different connections, asking me. So LinkedIn is a very good place employer goes to. Then this profile, you just have to like share your experience. What have you done? While I was at Ethan Media, this is what I did. I worked in Coronation. This is what I did. I worked in Dimension Data as Internet Solutions, also Dimension Data Employee Development. My job was, I started my HR job in Access Bank. I worked in GTB, and I worked in Zen. Just have a bullet point of all the things that you have done, so that when employers come to look for you, it is relatable. So when I teach resume clinic in school as a volunteer, right? That's in Cornell University in Canada here. And the question that most people ask is that, okay, if I get a junior role, for example, and I've tailored, because we are all immigrants here, you just want to, if you know the Maslow's hierarchy, you have the psychological need before you begin to talk about the safety, then you talk about the basic, then you talk about the esteem, then you talk about the actualization. For all of us, when we first get to Canada, we just want to survive, right? And that's the psychological need. So people take on any job. So the kind of question they ask us is that, if I have all this certification on my LinkedIn, and then I'm applying for the role of administration or administrative role, does that not look like a disconnect? They know, employers know, especially when you are immigrant. Leave your LinkedIn highly optimized. Your LinkedIn, I've had people that, I think Tayo can relate with this. I've had people that went for a junior role, and when the employer saw their resume, they said to them, oh, you are too junior for this role. We will have to give you another role. So make sure that your LinkedIn is fully optimized while you are navigating with your resume. Thank you. Let me know if you have any question.
Most definitely. This is awesome. This is good. This is excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Omoleye Sanusi. This is excellent, and I believe we have a couple of connections through all our platforms on Google Meet, Instagram, on our Facebook, even on our LinkedIn channels. Please, we really want to make sure that we deal very, very well, which our facilitator has done excellently well on reaching out, on sharing this knowledge and connecting with us. So I want to have our feedback. I want to have our thoughts. Let's have contributions. Let's talk more on this. So if you are on any of the platforms and you especially if you're on the Google Meet, please, you want to say something, you want to share your experience, you want to maybe one of those practical live experience that we've had in the past as immigrants here in our country. Please, let's have your thoughts. So please, the floor is open, and we can have reviews, comments. Let's share more practical thoughts on our personal branding. Do we have anyone?
So raise the hand.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Leye. I think that was quite insightful. Thank you for the wealth of knowledge, and trying to put it across in a way that we can all understand, quite well. And thank you, the organizers of this initiative. Thank you so much. So I think two things I wanted to say. The first one is contribution. Is a contribution actually, and I think that that's what I've seen across board. I think interview questions majority of the time. I think in this part of the world they love role plays. They love situational questions. So whenever you are going into that interview, I want to have, we call it, this is the STAR method now, where you talk about the situation, the task, the action, and the results whenever you are presented, with a problem during the interview. The other thing I wanted to say is more like a question, and this is directed to our facilitator here. What's your take concerning, number one, people that get in here, and because like you mentioned, it's survivor first before you then begin to find your feet and then find the role that that most suits you. I've seen situations where people rely on CVs, put roles that they've never worked in before. They will have job descriptions that they've never engaged before. So what's your take? And then number two, how do we how do we stabilize our CV in a way that, if quite fits majority of the jobs? For example, I want to apply for 10 jobs, then it's a lot of work trying to then streamline it to each of those job descriptions. What would your advice be in this situation?
Thank you, Olamide. I'm just trying to write it down. Okay, so the first question you have asked is that concerning people that come here at first, and people like to take on they say they whitewash their resume. Let me use HR terminology. I think it's personal, and I think it depends on your goal orientation. I have seen people in the HR workspace that they choose not to go for less, even though it takes time. And I know about a couple of them personally. One of them is a manager in Alberta government. He's doing DI, and he just said that I'm not going to settle for less. It took a while, and it took him applying to thousands of work, but he was determined. That's why I said it's personal. It's not a one size fits all, and it depends on how determined you are. I do not believe so. What we need to understand is that our experience back from home counts so much. We are not allowed to discount that experience, because what the employer is looking for is what you have done and what you are able to do. But permit me to say this, a lot of us are not trained on how to showcase our experience, and then we think we do not have what it takes. It doesn't matter whether you are the one that have done that role sufficiently enough. But if you know what that role entails, please put it on your resume. So for example, I am HR. When I was working in Dimension Data as the HR manager, I was asked to come and work on ergonomy. I partnered with the facility general resource department, facility department, to work on the ergonomy. I was buying chairs, speaking with all of those ones. This is not my department. But if you ask me, do I have project management experience? Oh, yes, because I was instrumental in managing the project from start to finish. So I think it's just about the way we position ourselves and the knowledge we have on the job. Right? I do not support whitewashing your resume, but think deep, because I find there's no HR role that I've seen, honestly speaking, that I do not have a matching experience. Once I think deep, apart from maybe the ones that are speaking about Canadian law, or the two major ones for me is trade. I haven't worked in a unionized organization, and I do not know Canadian law. So what I have done right now, once I finish this meeting, I have a class. I've enrolled for a class in Canadian law, and it's starting like an hour or two from now. So I have put it on my resume, but not under experience, but under my skills. So if you check my resume, yes, I have skills in Canadian law. Have I worked in a company and practice Canadian law before? No, but my skills is what I have. And how do I show that I have these skills? I put it under my certification. I have employment law certification from a Canadian XYZ. If I've answered your question, I hope this has. So let me conclude, or let me summarize. Do not lie, but think deep. Once, even if you have not done that job actively, and you know how to do it, remember that the question is work experience. It did not say work done so far. So if you have an experience in, so for example, I look for different kind of job. When I first came, I looked for a care job. I had experience in personal support work. I haven't practiced it in a large organization, but how do I have the experience? I took care of my father for 2 years before he passed on. I was with him from 88 years old to, so I wasn't even putting it on my CV before, but after I was, asking around, they said, you have this experience, showcase it. So all the experience we have, please, let's showcase it. And you said, what will be my advice on tailoring resume? Okay, I'm going to use myself as an example. I have a standard resume of almost 5 pages that contains all my experiences. Like I said, I put everything down, and there's no job role that I've done that I've seen that I will not be able to infer to those experiences. But it's just what it is here. We have to tailor our job description to the resume. I like the question that you have asked. How do we ensure we optimize it? I forgot to speak about something that is called the ATS, Applicant Tracking System. And once you tailor your job description once you tailor your resume to the job description, highlighting the skills and your summary page, then the applicant tracking system is likely to choose your resume. And what does it do? It cuts down unnecessary resumes. So you could have a very good experience, but if you do not align with the job description, then the ATS does not even take you. So how do you do it, considering the time and considering the amount of work you have to use for? That's why for me, I'm not academically, if I'm in school, I will not preach AI, because academics will tell you, oh, don't go to the side of AI. But yes, AI has come to stay for good. In fact, now when I first got to Pandal, the first preaching they told us is don't use AI. But in this my last semester, they've told us you have to, you need to use AI, but you just have to be ethical about it. So that I do something, I have different AI I use to check my resume. So I plug in, I use ChatGPT Pro. I subscribe for it, and there's a resume section there. I put in my resume, I put in my job description, and I say find out alignment for me and tell me the difference that I need to update. Then it tells me, oh, you're 70% aligned, you are 80% aligned, remove this, add this, and then you're gone. You're done. Within 1 hour, you can create a resume. Then I also have another one. That one is, I've forgotten the name now. If I remember, I can chat it in the box. And then what it does, let me see. Hold on. But that one is, someone in Nova Scotia gave me the link, and that one is very, very good. Yes, it's called Skills First. Yes, Skills, SKILLS, Skills First. The Skill First will analyze your resume. It won't write your resume for you. It will analyze it. Then it will also give you the gaps that you have, and it will tell you how to tailor your resume. I hope I've answered.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Ma, because that was profound. I think what I heard right now is have a master CV, and then you can cascade them into the different job descriptions. Then on the final note, by the way, thank you so much. That was highly profound. Does this platform encourage, or is there a place on this platform where we can come for mentorship, branding ourselves? Is there any way we can reach out? For me, LinkedIn was not a big deal when I was in Nigeria. Now that I'm here, I think LinkedIn is the place to go. And then you said something about not when you're describing your job description. For example, myself, when I was in Nigeria, I was working directly with the CEO. So I was literally doing everything: project management, HR, administration. So what you have just said right now will just help me kind of highlight those things in a very strategic way. But like I said, is there any way we can reach out on this platform to help us with all of these things moving forward? Maybe that's to bro Mr. Tayo now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And before actually answer that question, I still want, because I'll be talking a little more on that shortly. And there's a question on our chat box. Our question says, I have a question. Please, can you buttress your point on analytical job interview question? Can we have a little insight into that?
Okay, thank you. And I'll also say thank you to, Olamide. He has done justice by using the STAR model. So basically, the analytical, it depends on the role that we are going for. So once the question is asked, you can just know, you can be able to put it, are they looking for, is it like a critical thinking they are looking for? Is it like a, is it analytic? Is it problem solving? All of those ones. So I'm just going to rack my brain now and be able to, and just get an analytic, question. So let's say that, I'm asked that, what do you consider in workforce planning as HR manager? So already we are looking for at how I can analyze my employees. So in looking at workforce planning, you have to first understand what is the demand of the, the demand, the supply, the gap. The supply is the current workforce you have. You see, we are analyzing and you are on your toes. The demand is where the future of the organization is going to. And the gap is where we have. Let's say that, the strategy or the goal of the organization in the next 5 years, let me use a bank, for example, for proper analysis. Let's say the bank wants to increase the profitability from $1 billion or $1 trillion to $3 trillion in the next 5 years. So you are going to, first of all, check what is the supply of our current workforce. You will have, and it's a bit, all these things are all what we'll have done back end. So let's say we have 1,000 employees and we have generated 1 trillion. For this, we have used 1,000 employees to generate 1 trillion. Before you can say, okay, so if we say we are going for 3 trillion, you can say, okay, 1,000 employees, 1 trillion. If I'm going to 3 trillion, we can use 3,000 employees, but it's not so. So we have different kind of regression analysis you can use as for your analysis. You can use a linear regression, which is okay, 1,000 to 3,000. Then you can use a multiple or different kind. When you are using different kind of, multiple regression, you're also going to factor attrition. How many people will resign? How many people will when they go old, what is it called? How many people will be promoted from their role? How many people will retire? So those are the kind of analytics you are bringing into your job. And once they ask you a question that is on analytics, you should be able to make reference to what you have done quickly. My comfort position is to make reference to what I have done. And it doesn't really have to be limited to what you have done. Maybe you have read it. So I would say when a question is an analytical question, is not a one-size-fits-all. You must be able to know what they are testing, and you must be able to bring in an analysis into it, right? So even they can tell you that, okay, they can ask that, what's your perspective about attrition? I've done analysis on attrition in the past. So when you're analyzing attrition, you find out these people, and attrition means resignation. These people that are resigning, where are we recruiting them from? Are they entry level? Are they mid-level? Are they gender? Is it woman? What's the demography? So those are the things you will have done before you can be able to answer an analytical question effectively. I hope I've been able to answer the question.
Wow. Do we have any other contributions, any other questions, any other thought or insight on personal branding? Do we have anyone on any of the platforms? So, thank you.
Sorry, we have a post from Irresistible Asset. He said, yes, please. Can you go with your question?
Okay, please go ahead. Yes, okay, good. On the Google Meet. Please go ahead. Okay, I think she just acknowledged your response to our question.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, she the same person that asked the question on
Okay,
analytical
okay,
job interview.
okay.
Yes. So okay, I think we actually had a wonderful time. This is such an insight into personal branding, and taking it from the very first section on mastering AI fundamentals to cybersecurity fundamentals to having Damilola Ajibade on the third edition on workplace ethics. And if you are just joining us, this is your very first time on this platform, this is the Mandate Outreach International, a non-profit organization, and our mission is to create a lasting change by empowering communities and equipping young people with the tools they need to thrive. And through the Future Canada project, of course, is dedicated and focused to empowering and equipping the next generation of young leaders with the tools, with those resources, the skills, the connection, and the opportunities they need to thrive in both personal and professional capacities. And of course, our vision is to nurture leadership potential among Canadian youth. And we're also extending even at a matter of importance that we are also providing mentorship to global demography, even also in Africa, through the Future Canada project. So we are going to be providing them with resources to foster sustainable community growth and to make lasting positive impact across diverse sectors. So this is a community of young people, of young professionals, beyond immigrants, inclusive community. And we are very, 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 very much happy that you are connecting to us on this platform. And this is the very last section of the spring cohort. How can people connect? How can people maybe they need access for mentorship and the rest of them? Of course, we have provided different platforms through themandateoutreach.com. You can just check out our website, and I believe that we have a contact form that we can easily reach out either on that particular page, which I believe you can see right now anywhere you are. On that platform, on that particular page of the official website of the Mandate Outreach International, you can see the email. You can email directly to info@themandateoutreach.com, or you can just send a quick text. And we have team of people that are dedicated individuals that will respond to us almost immediately, either through the email or through text messaging, or you can just reach out and fill out the form right on that page, and right within minutes you will have a feedback, a response to your inquiries. And we are available, and also even like our facilitator today, she's very, very, very much available. You can connect with her in case you are live with us right now. You can just look her up on LinkedIn. And that's the very, very first, the quickest way you can connect, that you can even have access to mentorship. So I encourage you and everyone on this platform right away to connect with Omoleye Sanusi on our LinkedIn, and I can assure you, you reach out to her, you have any question, you have any queries, you have any mentorship, you have any guide, I believe she can provide that direct information and resources to us. And also on talking about LinkedIn, you can also connect with the Mandate Outreach International on LinkedIn. You can reach out to us, and almost on any platforms or your favorite professional platforms. You want to connect with us on Instagram, we are right there. You can also connect with us at TMY_official, and you can find out more and see more of our works on Instagram. You go to your Facebook, talking about social media connections. You also on Facebook, you can also have access to all our works, And even more importantly, we want to, if you are physically in at the Maritime, or you live in Moncton or in New Brunswick, we want to connect with you physically, and we are looking forward that you join us in some of our events and programs that are coming in the year. And I want to take this opportunity on this platform to announce to us that coming July 19th, and this is the very first official announcement on our community outreach event for this year, and we should be live the information, more information on this will be live on all our platforms on Monday. And the LP Ham Project Community Outreach Barbecue events, the very first in the summer, we're going to be having that on July 19th, Saturday, July 19th at downtown Moncton. Look forward to more information on this, and this event will be presented by McDonald Deheb of Boulevard in Moncton, exclusively sponsorship by that brand. And more information regarding this will be in the public space. Just a privilege to some of us that are on this section. So look forward to all activities in the coming year, in the coming months. And also is in fall, we are presenting our very first The Future Canada Conference. I'm very, very excited and also a privilege that you are hearing this for the first time on this platform. And all these informations will be live in the coming days to the public domain. We are presenting the Future Canada Conference, an annual conference that will be for the young professionals demography, and look forward to more information on this. And we're happy that you're on this journey with us. We're happy that you are part of the community of young people, immigrants, committed to sustainable development growth in their communities. We can do more, and with you and with all our collective energy, we believe we can make the world even a better place. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us from the first section to the second section to the third and to the very, very last cohort. Look forward to 4 cohorts and also many other activities, events we have for us in the coming months. Thank you, and we celebrate Omoleye Sanusi, we celebrate Samuel Lawa, we celebrate Oluwaseun, we celebrate Damilola Ajibade. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for giving back to the community. Thank you. My name is Oluwaseun Tayo Adeyemi, popularly known as PT, and I'm the Executive Director of the Future Canada Project. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.